Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to the Free-to-Play Cast brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, a.k.a. Magicman, and this is episode 394. And we've got Jumbo Slime news. What else do we have? I mean, that's it. We're just going to talk about Jumbo Slimes. That's it. We're just going to watch people try and jam a jumbo slime into a Chinese office building. I guess we'll also talk a little bit about Titanfall, hackers, Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer, Lost Ark, Chimeraland. I mean, we'll talk about a lot. Guild Wars 2 and all that stuff. Joining me, of course, to talk about all of that as we're doing the show live here, twitch.tv/MMOBomb. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. We love you all. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you stop by, give us a follow, and if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications, and come on over to MMOBomb.com. Check out all the good stuff. The top game in quarantine nearing its completion. Getting ready soon to head into the Final Four, so we definitely need your votes there. Don't we, Mr. Jason Winter?
Absolutely, and you kind of ruined this for me though with the pre-show because I had this ready last week before I knew I wasn't going to be on the cast. I was going to ask the question, like.
I don't think you have to send it back. I do think it is immediately a collector's item, though, right? I mean,
Okay.
It's just like immediately. You know,
I'm sad that I actually took some of the letters off the sprue now.
I should have left that wrapped in the plastic. When are you going to learn? When are you going to learn? You've been working for collection companies.
I still got the pins. The pins are wrapped.
Yeah, so are mine. Mine are still wrapped,
good.
too.
And your cheese is, who knows? Your cheese is wrapped, too.
Yeah,
we don't know
who knows
where.
where the cheese is. What's up, Nintendo? You made it for a show. Nice, nice. The crowd is cheering for Jason.
Yeah.
The fan favorite, Jason Winter. Also on the line, Mr. Wilfredo Rivera. What's up, sir? Uh-oh.
Oh, man, it's going to be a show today.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do I even want to know?
There's something in the topics that really, but yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Oh, there's something in the topics that it makes you mad?
It makes me crazy.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
I made the notes and I can't figure out what it might be.
All right.
Well, maybe I have a guess. Before we get to the news, though, we got a box.
Woo, box.
Box
What's
time.
in the box?
What's in the box? As you know, when we get boxes from various developers, publishers, or whatever, when possible, we bring them to the show and open them on the show so that we all get surprised together. Q, by the way, did get a box, but since she's not on this week, she opened hers. It was from Ion, for Ion Classic, and it was a little note about what was going on back in 2009. Is that right? 2009 when Ion launched in the West and everything. And there was the original Ion trailer loaded onto an iPod Nano 5th generation, which I thought was kind of a very, very cool little press thing. I appreciated the thought that went into that. So that was cool. We're going to open this one. Now, all I know is that it is from Nexon. I believe it is MapleStory related.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know. And I guess I should say there's one more thing that I kind of know. I don't know anything about what the contents are, but I believe there are 2 of whatever the contents are, with the intent of if any of the other MMO Bomb staff wants one, then I would just see the shipping to them like I did with the Genshin stuff for Q. Now, it does say cut carefully, and the box weighs 4 pounds. It is kind of smushy.
The last time they sent me something, it had a pillow in it. So when you want to cut carefully, that might seem the same thing. They don't want you slicing into the pillow.
Yeah, it is kind of smushy. Like maybe, plush or pillowy or something like that.
So the anarch in me says, forget the rules, cut recklessly.
Cut recklessly. Screw it. We don't want your stuff. So I pulled out the X-Acto knife to make sure we cut it carefully. And we get a good look at what's inside.
Oh, yeah, paper. All right.
Yeah, it's a lot of tissue paper.
Woohoo!
Okay, so inside the tissue paper, it is definitely
Soft.
soft.
Oh, my God, it's stuffed in there.
cloth related, yeah. Let me get some of this out of the way. Okay, so maybe there aren't two. I mean, this is it. I thought there were two the way the emails were talking, but it seems like a beach towel or something. Maybe
I was gonna say it definitely looks like a towel.
Yeah, maybe they put two in the
Could be
bag.
two towels, yeah.
It could be an entire bathroom set.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it does not seem like there are two in here. Oh my god, it's not a bath towel.
It's a
It's
robe.
a blanket?
It's a robe.
A white robe, too. So everybody,
Oh, look,
if
I'm
you wear it
hitting sound
everywhere you
effects on
sit,
my-
it's going to just gather dust.
Yep.
Yeah, never wear a white robe, people.
It's just a blank white robe.
Okay, so
Really?
there are not two in here. There's just one.
That's a
it's
good
not,
point.
It's not blank.
Are you sure that wasn't sent from like your secret lover sending you like lingerie or something here? 'Cause
Right,
there's no
yeah.
logo or anything on it.
I
Oh,
was
there's
like,
something there. I see.
address the box from Nexon. Nobody will ever know. But this is the embroidery thing on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hotel Maple.
Hotel
Clever.
Maple.
All right. 16th anniversary.
What happens in Hotel Maple stays in Hotel
Yeah,
Maple.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, there it is. That is huge. It is heavy too. It is not cheap material. That
It's
is
4
for sure.
pounds.
It is 4 pounds.
Wait, how much it weighs?
It is slightly less than 4 pounds. So yeah, hey, thank you to the Maple Story team for a big ass bathrobe, oversized bathrobe, definitely soft and everything. I thought they were sending two, so they did not. But so if Jason or Wilfredo or whatever you need a bathrobe, you let me know, and we'll make sure to get you a Hotel Maple bathrobe. On that
I
note,
think you
let's
can keep that one.
go to the news. All right, in my new robe. A lot of little odd news today, so let's bang that out first. Probably the more interesting on the free-to-play front is that there are rumors right now that Konami's next PES or Pro Evolution Soccer 2022 might just be free-to-play. Now, we should put a few asterisks around this, right? It is not heavily sourced. It was kind of like somebody that knows this type of stuff and has been right in the past mentioned it in passing almost on a podcast, on the VGC podcast. So it's not like this is absolutely confirmed or anything, but I want to see if you gentlemen think it makes sense. Now, remember, if you play Pro Evolution Soccer, there is the free-to-play version already, PES Lite. Which is more on like their team making thing. It really doesn't have all the solo modes or anything like that. And they kind of took last year off, right? There was no PES 2021 while they were getting used to working with a new engine and things for the series going forward. They just kind of did a roster update for 2021. So looking at the 2022 version, rumors are that it could be free to play. Now, when you think about PES, FIFA, Madden, those annual sports series, Jason, do you think it makes sense for any of them to go strictly free to play?
Not really, no. I mean, I look over the list of the things they had for they had like a PES Lite. That was like they did last year, which was a kind of free-to-play version of it. And I look it over and I'm like, this seems good. Like, I seem like I would want all this and it would all be free. So would I really want to pay more for a few additional teams? I guess it depends on how many teams there are. Like this one only had like 5. I guess that would be the point of it. But if I wanted teams that weren't there, I'd rather just buy the whole thing. I don't think I'd want to just have a little bit of a demo or whatever they have and then pay $3 for each additional team I want or whatever, or stadiums or modes. So yeah, I don't know that I'd really want this if I was actually into this sort of thing. Of course, that's what free-to-play games usually are. They're to get you to try something out you're not sure you like, and then you'll play the whole thing. But for sports games, like you say, if you want to play as whatever team, you want to play as that team. So I don't know that having a free demo or a free-to-play actual version of it where you buy stuff piecemeal just makes any sense.
Well, I mean, so looking at it from the other side, though, Wilfredo, they already are heavily microtransaction laden. even though they do carry $50, $60, and hell, even more, box prices, depending on what you're buying anyway. So they already kind of have that element. We've already seen, Call of Duty start to fall into this. Hey, let's make Warzone free and try and suck up box sales. I think the intent was PES Lite to try and do the same thing, right? Give you this mode for free, and then maybe you'll buy the box sale. They obviously have huge competition, too. Like Madden, there is no competition, right? EA has that NFL license exclusively. But the FIFA license, at least at the moment, is anybody can buy that. So PES has it, EA has it for their FIFA series. I mean, this certainly does give you something to tout over your competition to those that may not be familiar with differences between the two. Hey, ours is free. Go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely something you can bring to the table, but you're looking, and this is coming from years, way back, 2006, 2007, when I used to work in a video game store. People would come in, big soccer hooligan fans would come in and say, do you have PES over FIFA? Because FIFA, year after year after year, became more of the same, but PES gave you better management. It updated the rosters more frequently. It made it feel like you were playing soccer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's this I don't know. There's this thing where you just have the licensing to all these clubs, and to make it go free to play with, kind of gotcha mechanics and things like that. That's all well and good, but Konami doesn't have a great reputation at the moment either. So I don't think it would be smart for them to do that.
That is the other thing. It's freaking Konami behind the IP.
And here's the thing that drives me nuts. I love Konami for only 3 franchises: Metal Gear, Castlevania, and Silent Hill. And this is the game you want to make free to play? I don't think that's a smart move.
Well, I mean, looking at their entire library, though, would you make another one free to play? I don't think if you're the developer, if you're Konami, I don't think you want to make Castlevania free to play. Maybe you're like mobile spin-off trash, stuff like that. But,
right, but
mainline Castlevanias, Contras might as well be free to play. Nobody's buying them anymore because the last dozen have just been horrendous. Yeah, so I don't know if there's any series that I kind of like this move. Like, if they do it, right? It is just a rumor. I kind of like this move. I think it's a little bit aggressive looking at the FIFA side of things and competing with FIFA. But, Jason, obviously, huge downside potential for, hey, we already had a bunch of microtransactions in our game, maybe not to the extent that FIFA does. That's fine, but you still have microtransactions in your game. And now this just kind of justifies adding whatever you want in some developers' minds as far as the fees, because, hey, we're giving it away for free.
Yeah, it's going to have, if you thought it has too much already, it's going to have a lot more if you have a free version of it.
I don't think I've ever played PES. I used to play the shit out of FIFA. I mean, that was my stuff. PS2 era, PS3 era, a little bit on the PS4, but that's when I kind of started falling out of it, when it just, the loot boxes became too much for me. I was like, I'm just not interested anymore. And, like, I've always heard, Wilfredo, and you kind of alluded to it earlier, that PES is the superior product. I don't know personally if that's true or not. I don't have any experience with PES, but I have had friends and people on game sites tell me that, PES is the superior product if you give it a chance.
Yeah, no, top tier. And a lot of the other podcasts that I follow, big wrestling fans, like Wrestle Talk and What Culture, they all play PES. They can't stand FIFA. That's saying something. That means you've got a quality product. I just think there's an opportunity here to, yes, you can put it out free to play, and there's that opportunity for people to play it if they haven't played it before. But I think you're missing out on that opportunity of saying, here, pay the box price, then buy whatever little add-ons you want.
I think it's a good move. You two seem to think that it's not.
I mean, it would depend on exactly what was offered. If I look at Light and they only have 5 teams, if it's the same way for whatever the next version is, you have to buy teams. I think that would be kind of the breaking point of not wanting to do it.
I agree. I will put the caveat on mine saying that this is probably a good idea that will astronomically go wrong. So this is a good idea that Konami will probably botch if they do it. But I think it could help a bit of a series that I wonder if like this forces EA to just go out and buy the FIFA license now. Like if EA is just like, you know what, screw this, we're gonna do the same thing we did with Madden.
The reason they have the exclusive on that is because the 2K version was looking really good and drawing people away. So they're like, yeah, we're just going to throw all the money we can at NFL.
Man, 2K football was the shit.
Yeah.
2K football was awesome.
It was amazing.
How many hours did I lose on the Dreamcast to NFL 2K and 2K1 and 2K2? Oh. Anyway. Hey, if you're in Indonesia, you know, if people have their way, you may not be able to play Fortnite anymore. So apparently, according to the South China Morning Post, they are reporting that the Tourism and Creative Economy Minister, Sandiaga Uno, has branded Fortnite as blasphemous against Islam due to a viral video that showed a Fortnite player wielding a scythe and walking around an area that resembles the Great Mosque of Mecca, as well as the Kaaba, which Muslims, obviously, around the world kneel for prayers and face for prayers. Now, it should be noted that that video came out in 2019, so, I mean, we're a little late to the party here to see that video and deem a game blasphemous because of that. It should also be noted that that was created in the creator mode of the game, not in the popular Battle Royale version of the game. But, you know, Jason, something tells me the details don't matter to those in charge here.
Yeah, well, it's like trying to explain, like I looked at some of the other articles from trying to explain Fortnite to parents and like, you know, so you're a banana and you shoot Thanos? What? How does that go? So, yeah, I can agree that people in charge, especially like older conservative religious leaders, are probably not going to grasp the nuance of creative mode versus the real game. And I mean, we even talk about now. You've talked about how people will email us thinking that we're responsible for games.
Oh my God, we get those all the time. By the way, if this is you, stop. I get emails all the time. So, okay, first off, there's the Jason has his MMO Bomb email address. I have mine, you know, all that stuff. But then there's the generic contact@mmobomb.com, right? I also get those. So if you email magicman or contact, I will see either of those. Some of you submit your bombs and stuff like that. And we got an interesting thing coming up that I'm going to ask for people to submit to in the future. So make a note of those emails. We literally get emails from people. I can't get back into my account. Can you unban me? What?
Yeah.
What? MMO Bomb has a game page for this game. And I guess that leads people to think that we run the game. I don't know. We get them every week. I get some every week. Sorry, Jason. Go ahead. If that's you, stop.
Basically the same kind of thing is that these people think that, you know, if it's in Fortnite, then Epic is responsible for it, and the whole game is bad because of that. So not realizing that it's like, you know, if I write, you know, something terrible, that's not, you know, Microsoft Word's fault. You know, it's the same sort of thing, but they're not seeing the nuance there, probably.
Yeah, I've got to unban Old Glory, apparently. I banned Old Glory from Second Life, and he's pretty upset about it. he's pretty upset about it. We'll get on it, Old Glory. We'll get on it. Wilfredo, I don't think politicians and those in charge care, though. Like, yes, you could go into Minecraft and create whatever the hell you want. It doesn't mean Minecraft should be deemed blasphemous. Maybe you take what the person created to be blasphemous, but that's, you know, still stretching it in my personal views, but that's fine. If that's the view you want to take, hey, I don't like that they created that in there. That's a decision that they made that I don't agree with, but doesn't make the freaking game blasphemous.
100%. Like, it's... Here's the thing. How do you get mad at a game when it was a player who created said thing in said game? You can't be mad at the game. There are plenty of things. You think people are going to get mad at a canvas because art was put on it?
People don't like art. People think certain art is blasphemous to whatever political or religious beliefs they have too. But you don't take the damn things out of museums because of it. You know?
So it just doesn't make any sense. I think these are people who are just like, oh, this is something that's going to push my buttons today. I'm going to target this. Yes. Is it something that could be perceived as offensive? Absolutely.
Which one of you assholes in chat just emailed me?
Oh, man.
I am upholding your ban to Planet Calypso. Thank you. Thank you. You're unreal. Chat, I love you, but I hate you at the same time. I hate you at the same time.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, Mike. It's going to be a day for you now.
It's going to be a day. It's going to be a day. Do you think it actually ends up banned in Indonesia? Like, I don't think so on my side, Jason, but who knows? When you talk about religious views and political views pushed together, there's a lot of emotion that goes into that discussion for a lot of people. I don't think there would be enough of a drive. I think there would be enough of a monetary reason not to do it. So I'm going to lean towards no, it probably doesn't end up banned, but I also wouldn't be stunned if I'm flat out wrong.
I would lean more towards yes, honestly, like at least in the 60-40 kind of range, because I just don't think they're going to they're not going to grasp the nuance or the difference between any of it.
Yeah, Windshark, I agree with you. If it were China, I'd probably be with Jason and leaning more towards yes. Since it's not and it's Indonesia, I'm going to lean more towards no. Jason's leaning a little more towards yes, so Wilfredo, you got to be the tiebreak.
I'm probably going to go no, primarily because I don't think they're going to really see this as a big thing to talk about, and they're just going to forget it at some point.
We'll see. We'll see. Creator mode, people. Creator mode.
You need to replace time to penis with time to blasphemy.
Yeah. I did appreciate in your article that you did reference the TTP, the time to penis. Mm-hmm. Anytime anything creative is put into a game that players can mod and mess with, it's just starting the clock. How fast will we see somebody build a penis in the game? Titanfall players hacked Apex Legends this past weekend, and some Apex Legends employees had to be called in and work on Sunday for about 6 hours to fix the issue. Now, this was not just, hey, let's, DDoS or hack something just for the fun of it. They were doing it for what they deemed to be a purpose, because, and I'm obviously this isn't all Titanfall players. This is a very, very small group of Titanfall players, but they're kind of upset that their game, Titanfall, maybe hasn't been getting the fixes or the love that they have wanted for a while, that they have communicated to Respawn Entertainment, that they have tried to bring to their attention to get fixed, and it just seems like things aren't getting fixed. And I think we can all know that frustration with aspects of our favorite games, whether they be MMO or shooter games or whatever. We all can at least empathize with that frustration. But this group took it to the next level, decided to do some hacking, smack around the Apex Legends servers a little bit. The game was down. Devs had to spend the weekend undoing everything to get it back up. And at the end of the day, this probably isn't going to lead to any fixes in Titanfall. So I have a feeling, if I had to guess, Wilfredo, this is the topic you probably have something to say about.
See, there's a phrase that we have in the world. It's called, "This is why we can't have nice shit." Why? What? All right, so let me get this straight. You got a group of people who are like, you guys aren't paying attention to my favorite game, so we're going to go wreck your other game that's making the company that they're a part of fail and suffer. Okay, so you really think that the revenue stream you just down from Apex, which is one of many other developers within the EA branch, you think I'm going to take that lost revenue and go, oh, we should fix Titanfall because they brought our servers down? No. I understand you're in protest. Cool. Fine. Why in the hell would you do that? You want them to pay attention to Titanfall? Stop playing the game.
No, I wouldn't recommend that in this case, because it'll just shut down. I mean, you think EA cares about it anymore?
But that's the thing, because if you start the process of, okay, we're not going to play as often. Now they're going to be like, all right, well, why aren't they playing as often? What's going on over there, Respawn? We need to update some stuff. Well, then get to it. but we don't know how. Oh, well, do you guys need money? Yeah. Put out some, cash grab stuff. Do what you got to do. Whatever happens, happens. Honestly, it's the reason why I don't play shooters in the first place online, because you've always got some group of people who's just like, you know what? I'm going to ruin it for everybody. Asshole hackers like this, please do me a favor. Disconnect your keyboard from your computer and walk away. Please, you're ruining it for the rest of us.
All right, devil's advocate here. That may not necessarily jive with any personal beliefs I have. I'll play devil's advocate, though, for the sake of the discussion, Jason. When you protest something in real life, the idea is to be mildly within the bounds of the law interfering, whether that be inconveniencing by blocking roads, again, where legal. We're talking about legal, and yes, I understand hacking another company is not legal. That is not a legal action, but I can almost see why, like, the initial thought comes up. You know what we should do? If they're spending all this time in Apex Legends, let's shut Apex Legends down for a few hours. Maybe that'll get their attention. Like, I can almost see the kernel of the idea go, that's a pretty good idea. Now, from there, it should have probably gone, guys, this is actually really a bad idea if we think about it for another 2 or 3 minutes. But the idea was, hey, all of the attention is being sucked over by this game. Let's interfere with that game a little bit to call attention to our game that just isn't getting fixed. If you follow that line of thought, you maybe also go, yeah, but if we engage in something illegal, then we kind of lose any high ground that we might have in this argument by engaging in any illegal activity. But Jason, I don't think it's totally a crazy plan. I just think it's one that probably should have been shot down in the boardroom as the team of hackers discussed it.
The hacker boardroom.
Yeah, the hacker boardroom.
Where they wear their suits or whatever.
And you can definitely feel the frustration of these players have tried everything. It's all over their forums. It's all over feedback. Yeah. Like, it's, they're just not getting answered. That is frustrating.
I am completely on your line of thinking, Mike. Like, in terms of illegality, maybe that's not the greatest point. Because, we talk about real-life protests. Maybe it's for, like, a very serious issue, the sort of thing we might be willing to bend or break laws or whatever to do what you want to get that attention, cause that disruption or whatever. This is obviously not that point. Nobody's dying if Titanfall goes away or whatever.
We are not equating it to real-life protests.
Sure.
We're making a comparison.
But I get the notion of, we've tried everything else. We have to take somewhat more drastic action to get their attention. Because, as I say, every time they do a investor thing, they say, Titanfall made $1 billion or whatever in the last year. It's like, well, and a lot of the players are like, well, couldn't you take a little, or not Titanfall, Apex made $1 billion. Couldn't you take a little bit of that money and stick it in Titanfall and get that working? Because it's not a dead game by any means.
No.
Just on Steam alone, it's averaging like 5,000-6,000 players. That doesn't count what it gets on Origin and whatever else. So it's not some small thing. And if they really have been trying that long and trying everywhere to get attention, this was their way of trying to get attention. Maybe they should. Again, I don't want to say you shouldn't do something illegal like hack a game. But again, on the other hand, nobody's getting really hurt by them hacking the game. It's not like it's, like I said, disrupting. It's at the most, it's like disrupting traffic. That's basically what it is, stopping people from doing what they want. So I'm at least a little bit on their side when it comes to this.
Yeah, I think the best way for me to describe my personal viewpoint on this is sympathetic, but at the end of the day, I probably would have gone a different route. Like, what route? I don't know, right? I don't know. I'd have to sit there and think about, how do you really get their attention? Because this certainly got their attention, but you had to know doing it that it was not going to end in the result that you wanted anyway, Wilfredo. Like, you had to know, we may do this, we may cause disruption, we may get noticed by Respawn, maybe it'll call attention to our cause because it went to their, this website about saving Titanfall. But you had to also know, I think, at the end that they're certainly not going to fix it because we did this. Like, if anything, we're delaying possible fixes because now Respawn, even if they had fixes in a bucket, right, and they were going to go out next Friday, but nobody knew it, now they can't possibly put those out right now. They have to let this cool down. Otherwise, it looks like, hey, if you hack us, we'll go ahead and fix things. So, even if the fixes were there, they're not coming now because of this action.
Yeah.
And they weren't. I'm not implying that they were, but...
No. I agree with that because it's basically burning the house down to kill the bug. There's no point. So express your concerns in a way that does get their attention. Say, hey, we really want to play this game. Can you fix a lot of these issues?
Yeah,
And
but
just
then it
go into
comes
the
back
forum.
to we've tried everything to get their attention.
Right. But this is a bit extreme, right? Again, burning the house down to kill the bug. Maybe if you just start a small fire in the kitchen.
So
That's it.
you're more boycott first.
Yeah, definitely boycott.
Yeah, I agree though with the notion that if they boycott and the game gets less popular, it's going to shut down. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I don't think that's the answer.
I mean, if everybody just stopped playing,
It's a weird
like,
situation. Like, I feel sympathy across the entire board. I feel sympathy with the players. Would I personally have hacked the system? No, because I knew I would recognize it's not going to get me what I want at the end result anyway, even if we were wildly successful. But I also sympathize with the workers who shouldn't have to go through this type of stuff. You know, the line level developers and programmers and stuff, they don't have a say in where allocated resources and stuff like that goes, and they got to come in on a day off and spend 6 hours trying to do this. Like, there's sympathy abounding. But man, yeah, it's a weird situation for me. I don't think you should go around hacking companies in general, but you certainly got their attention, so I can't really say it was a failure. But on getting the fixes you want, I think it's definitely a failure, and you had to know that from the onset. It's a weird situation for me. I don't totally. It's one of those. I agree with the message. I kind of disagree with the implementation, but I can see why that implementation was at least an idea. Like, I don't think it's crazy, but yeah, you shouldn't have done it. And if you get caught, you're gonna end up in jail, and now you can't play Titanfall at all. So. I guess there's that. On to something a little more cheerful. Let us know what you think. I think it's an interesting discussion. Let us know what you think in the comments. Like, are you 100% on the hackers' side and they did everything right here and they were right to do this? Or, you know, are you more like me where you're like, damn, you know, it's all, I can see why it all played out this way, but it probably shouldn't have had to get here. I don't know. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Take a look at this, gentlemen. This is a giant Animo slime from Genshin Impact jammed into the revolving doors of the miHoYo offices. Now, that is super cute. That is super cute. There are still doors on either side that you can use, so you can get in and out of the offices. And this is, by design, where they wanted this to be displayed. Okay, so this was not like this is the final image. This was not a compromise. This was where they wanted this thing. And it's super cute and wonderful display. I'm sure when you're walking by, I'd take a picture with it. And if you play those quests in Genshin, Q wants you to know that she feels your pain trying to follow the Animo balloon around. But it took a little while to get here. Because apparently... Apparently, the exact size of said display was not nailed down in relationship to the door that it had to enter to get there. It was just nailed down according to the size of the spot that it would sit in once it was in the revolving door. And so here are some fine miHoYo employees in shirts and ties wrestling a giant Animo slime into a revolving door at the miHoYo offices. It's probably like, where's the Pulitzer? Just give it out right now, Jason. There's nothing else is going to happen this year that is worth any more than this photograph, right? This is just amazing. I love this.
I like it.
Oh, come on. Look at this. This is awesome. Like, can you imagine getting called at your desk? Jason, we need you downstairs, please. I'm a little busy typing up a couple articles from Mike. What do you? No, we're gonna go ahead and need you downstairs right now. We need 7 strong men to push an Animo slime into a revolving
why are you calling
door.
me?
I think this is a great picture. I absolutely love this. It's not much to talk about, but I love it, Wilfredo. It's one of my favorites.
It's one of those things that makes you go, this will be something that we talk about for the next couple of months.
They did get it. Yeah, at least they did get it inside, chat. You're absolutely right. Now, when it comes time to take it out, I'm not exactly sure. To be fair, the bottom part does come apart, so that's not the issue. It's just the big slime guy on the top that's the issue. I don't know if we'll ever be able to use the miHoYo revolving doors again.
It's time to take it out. It's time for the stabbing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I guess that too, Jason. Like when it's time to take it out, you just take a chainsaw to the damn thing. We're getting you out of here. That will be the only better picture than this. Is a bunch of people in ties chainsawing a giant slime in front of the miHoYo office.
I'm just enough X-Acto knives or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna go put on my suit and I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves a little bit.
Yeah, you bought a suit. You bought a suit specifically for this. Go help them.
Specifically for cutting this slime down to little bits. We'll put little slimes and we'll get them out of the door.
Go help them. Hey, if you're a Pokemon fan, we've got another MMO coming for you. Now, I should be upfront here. We don't actually know if this is going to be free to play or not. We assume there is going to be some free to play component to it because it is a PC mobile, cross support thing. So by being on mobile, there more than likely will be some free element to it, if not just being a free to play game in general. What you're looking at here is Chimeraland, a game taking place in the 4th century BC. If you follow Chinese literature, it's very the classic of mountains and seas. It's kind of based on that. Bunch of mythical animals. You can tame them. You can customize them. You can make them breed and make different new ones. Q did liken it to Viva Pinata as far as making new ones, if you remember that game, which I absolutely loved. PC.
Look at that head. Look at that giant head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The character creator, the giant head. I don't know. Like, I thought I was going to like Riders of Icarus an awful lot for this specific aspect, right? It was an MMO, but you could capture and tame and, use them as mounts and use them as combat pets and everything. And maybe that says more about Riders of Icarus than that feature, but I kind of fell out of Riders of Icarus pretty quickly. Basically, around the same time, my stable filled up, and I was not able to get any more slots without paying cash. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm done. So I hope this game doesn't run into the same problem. There's a closed beta test getting ready to run. It's highly selective. Like you have to be in Canada and the Philippines, and it's for only iOS and Android at this time. So we still have some time, and we don't know a lot of information on it. But at first glance, Jason, it's one I'd probably keep a little bit of an eye on if you're into that whole gotta collect them all type mentality.
Yeah, definitely just looking over the page and looking over the video and so forth. It does seem like it could be kind of neat. I kind of question its scope, but it seems like a lot. So it's like I'm like, it looks really neat if they can pull it all off.
I do like that you're seeing here though, like you can customize the animals too, not just your character, but the actual
what did you say in there?
Too.
It's they eat each other or something. Yeah, having one creature consume another results in new modified creatures. Which is a little okay, but 4th century BC was kind of a brutal time, so that sort of stuff happened. So yeah, I mean, but again, I wonder how that system works out, and how balanced is that going to be, or you're just gonna consume, gotta eat them all, whatever. So yeah, it looks interesting, but I'm definitely like, it's just in the okay. I'll keep paying attention to you, but you're gonna have to do something more to make me actually want to play you at some point.
I agree. We definitely need more info on it. This was just kind of a little teaser of it. Wilfredo, are you into like Pokemon Go or any of the Pokemons or Riders of Icarus? Does this like spark any interest for you?
It sparks a little because back when I was in like 6th grade, I knew all 150 Pokemon in alphabetical order.
6th grade, jeez.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's like now. 6th grade.
When I was in 6th grade, I was playing Oregon Trail.
I was playing that in like 1st grade. It was awesome.
When Jason was 48, he knew all 150 original Pokemon in alphabetical order.
That's not until next year.
So yeah, I'm kind of interested. The only thing that bugs me a little bit, it kind of has that feel of like Forsaken World on mobile, where yeah, it's probably got a pretty awesome in-depth character creator. That's all well and good, but how's the gameplay? That's what ultimately is going to matter.
I hate Jason. I hate you.
What do I do now? Oh, yeah.
I got an email with the subject line, forgot password. Hey, MMO Bomb, I forgot my Scarlet Blade password. Oh, password. Can you get me in? K, thanks, bye. From Jason Winter.
The funny thing is, I actually mistyped password unintentionally, but then I saw it, and I was like, I'm not going to fix that. Perfect. I'm going to leave it as is.
Oh God. So
Oh,
are you on board, Wilfredo?
I'm 50-50. I'll wait for more information to come out, but it looks interesting. I'll give it a shot.
Scarlet Blade of all things. Good grief.
It's the first game I can think of.
Hey, have any of you picked what class you're going to be playing in Lost Ark?
Yep.
Have you really? I know. So Zach has chosen. We have a preview up on mmobomb.com. The Lost Ark team did a whole piece on like all 14 advanced classes. Some of the base classes have more or less. Like the magic user only has 2, but some of the other ones have 4. But so you'll have multiple advanced classes to choose from. Zach is going Paladin. Wilfredo, have you chosen yours?
It depends on what class I'm primarily playing, but I agree with Zach. Paladin's probably going to be my main, followed up by the Scrapper martial artist and the Deadeye gunslinger.
Jason, have you chosen yours?
Like, I'd like to play. It's been a long time since I played a healer, so I'd like to be a bard. But figuring it's probably going to be like a largely single playerish kind of thing, I'll probably go for something a little more damagey. I played a melee character mostly in Path of Exile, so I'll probably go with one of the gunner classes, leaning towards Deadeye. So that seems like the number one choice.
Leaning
right
towards
now.
Deadeye. Why?
I like the versatility. It has a bunch of a lot of different attacks. It looks like
So you just want a pew pew all over the place, huh?
pew pew in many different fashions. Yes.
In many different fashions. The one I want isn't here. Not yet. It's not even in the Korean
There's 14
version
and you're not satisfied? Jeez. I want 803 classes. I want to eat my Pokemon and make new ones or whatever.
I do.
That's what makes Tree of Saviors so awesome, because you can splinter off
so many classes.
I mean, you can screw up your build in so many ways.
That is true too.
I played all the Tree of Savior. I think I screwed it up already.
This is the class I want, obviously.
Of course.
What is that? The jump in the sky and a fire bullet. Of course, yeah.
I want a necromancer. I want that mage to have a necromancer, but it doesn't right now. It doesn't. So I was probably thinking I'll check out Bard as well. I also like some of the assassin classes. So, but yeah, I actually, give me my necromancer, and I said that to them on Twitter, but it hasn't come to the Korean version yet, so I don't think we're going to see it anytime soon over here either.
Well, they've said that didn't Zach say they were going to add more pretty soon? Didn't he find that out?
Yeah.
I know they say they're going to add more. But
Yeah, they're definitely going to add more, but even in like the Korean version, there's no necromancer yet, so I'm not getting my hopes up. Let's slide over and do the weekly bombs. Oh my. Wilfredo, you can go first.
Did you say me? I couldn't hear because you were
Wilfredo.
Oh, cool. I'm giving.
He couldn't hear you either.
Yeah, it was bad. My A bomb is for Magic: The Gathering Arena.
Not Magic Legends.
Not Magic Legends. That's
Legends.
Dead. We don't talk about the dead things.
Magic Legends doesn't deserve a bomb at this point.
No. No. Magic: The Gathering Arena for being a mobile game that none of my tablets can run because you need 4 gigs of RAM. You would figure I can run Hearthstone on 2 gigs. What?
Well, you can run Hearthstone on a TI-83. So
yeah. So what? Bruh, it's a card game. It shouldn't ask for that much.
That is a lot. I mean, not a lot, but a lot. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I am going to give an A-bomb to frickin' dailies. I am so over daily quests, and it just feels like every MMO right now that is not Final Fantasy 14 is just daily quests anymore. Like, even, I play World of Warcraft. We'll be raiding Torghast for the first time tonight. It just opened this week on Ready Check Radio tonight, so come and check that out. But even that, it's just like, even the main story is basically broken up into doing dailies and weekly time locks and things. The main frickin' story. And a lot of the free-to-play stuff that I've been playing lately falls into this same bucket where repeatable content can be fun, but it never is. It just never is built in a fun way. Dailies aren't fun. Weeklies aren't fun. I know I'm going to argue with Zista on Tuesday during Snowbound about this, because we were already arguing on Discord about it when 9.1 launched, and he was like, I like this because I can, I only like playing for a couple of hours here and there every day. And I'm like, yeah, but you're doing chores. Come on.
He's a World of Warcraft player.
I can't stand it.
They know.
I can't stand it. And more free-to-play games are following in that suit, too, and it's just driving me nuts, Jason. Big-ass A-bomb. Stop it.
Yeah. I've had the basic workings of an editorial in my brain to talk about that. So, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Cool. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, whatever. Next month. I'm going to give a bomb to the Enlisted Battle Pass. Like, I've been playing Enlisted, and I've got the Battle Pass again, and it is one of the more generous Battle Passes in terms of recouping your investment. So it costs like 900 gold, which is that's 1,000 for $10, whatever. So you buy that. Did that last week or last season, and I went all the way through to the end. Got all 900. Actually, got 1,000 back, because you get 900 and then you get 1,000 if you get all the way to the end. Probably not going to play as much this time, but even so, the level 10 reward is 400 gold. So that's almost half the cost of it right there. And like every 5 levels through to like 25, you get another 100 more. So if I get to 25, which is requiring me to play like an hour every other day.
Yeah, so it's not even like, hey, you can recoup the cost if you play enough to get to 100 levels,
Yeah.
And it's such a grind. Yeah. It's actually reasonable.
Yeah, like even at 25, you get like 700 back. So the pass costs you basically like 200 per. Now, obviously, they want you to pay more and buy other stuff.
Yeah.
But if you just want the battle pass and you just play a reasonable amount, you only have to buy it, like spend for like once a year. So it's like 75 days in a season. So you got like 2.5 months. So it's really, really economic if you want to get into that.
From chat, we have got Guardian Vale chiming in with a bomb to Larian Studios panel from Hell 3 for Baldur's Gate 3. Loved the LARPing session they did. It was so cringe, it was good. Nintendo says, A-Bomb, The Core is a perfectly watchable movie, considering that Fast and the Furious and Transformers are a thing. That one, I believe, directed directly at you, Jason.
I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie. I have no interest. I've watched the Transformers movies. Even then, I only went through the rest. I'd seen the original in theaters, and I went through the rest of them last year. We decided to do a little binge here in the house. And I regretted it mostly.
The Core is a perfectly watchable movie.
Watchable. It wasn't good. It was watchable.
It was watchable.
Like if you watch it, you won't die or something from it. It's like, how's your lunch? Oh, it was edible.
It was.
Yep.
It wasn't poisoned. Stojan, dub bomb to Injustice: Gods Among Us being free on Xbox One. Old Glory, A-bomb to hot weather. I can't play PC in my room because my room becomes a sauna, so I have to take breaks from playing Final Fantasy 14. Terra Nova, A-bomb to Elder Scrolls Online on PS5 and still crashing, even after this week's update and maintenance. Ninja Pandas, A-bomb to Twitch servers for constantly being a dud on Fridays. just on Fridays? And bomb to PSO2 New Genesis for a little bit more content, even if it's festival-related stuff. Yeah, the 9th anniversary of Phantasy Star Online 2 has kicked off in the game. It's all on the New Genesis side. There is some cross stuff you can do, but yeah. From the viewers, Japan's Freak says, bomb to Mike for doing the best first look video ever, Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. Yeah, so one, I should say thank you. 2, that is not the first look. That was just a gameplay action for technical alpha. There will be an official full first look when the game actually releases. It will not be done in character. I did the entire thing in my Vampire the Masquerade Toreador character, and you know what? I didn't care if the internet liked it or not. I was like, Vampire the Masquerade fans will get it. And yeah, it's guys, it was the only way to keep me from crying, right? That Vampire the Masquerade was a battle royale. I had to do something to keep me from crying.
Nerd.
Go ahead, Jason.
Corey V says Magic Legends was pretty awesome. At least we got Lost Ark coming.
Yeah, I think you'll be much happier with Lost Ark, Corey. Go ahead, Wilfredo.
Tony Grim Vision. Open betas for video games now is the equivalent of someone posting a selfie on social media and with the caption, "Felt cute, might delete later."
I absolutely love that
That's
bomb,
good.
Tony.
That's good.
Tony, that is like the best comment ever. Open betas, felt cute, might delete later.
This is one of two of my favorite bombs on this list.
The next one?
No. The very last one.
Okay. Oh, yeah. There's more on that, by the way. Yami Kami says, "Da bomb for a success." This is a good one too. For a successful Magic Legends speed run, shut down any percent. They did do it. Well done. Well done. Go ahead, Jason.
First Jabber says, first of all, great episodes with interesting topics. Dub bomb to ArenaNet. Colin Johansson is back to fix Guild Wars 2. Very hyped for DirectX 11 update and a long-promised alliance system to revive World vs. World. Expansion delay is not a problem at all. Please take your time and deliver something good. But if Colin was only with Amazon Games, does that mean they're going to add New World to the rich portfolio of shutdowns?
You wanted to talk about some Guild Wars 2 related. What's
so
up? We mentioned the delay last week.
Yeah, which is actually kind of funny because the Heart of Thorns expansion was like delayed 9 months, or not delayed, but they put out the last story chapter for the Living World, and then it was 9 months after that the expansion came out. And fans were not happy about having to wait that long. Now they're doing their like redo thing where you go through all the old story stuff, and I just did that last chapter before Heart of Thorns, and I thought to myself, it might be another 9 months before the expansion comes out. Which I thought was a neat little parallel. But
it is.
But the last two projects Colin Johansson has headed up were Heart of Thorns, which, as mentioned, was very heavily delayed, very heavily criticized for not promising what it promised, because Colin likes to promise a lot of things. And the other last project he headed up was Crucible. So
yeah, that one didn't go well.
I'm not 100% on board with the notion that Colin is the savior of Guild Wars 2. I have my doubts.
I would say it sounds more like he's the harbinger.
The harbinger of doom. Well, I mean, Guild Wars 2 is still around after Heart of Thorns, but
yeah, it didn't pull a Crucible.
As I said, I think the reason for the delay is they need Colin to have more time to hype it up. For the next expansion, but yeah, I don't mind the delay.
We're going to delay this so that I could drop a few press releases.
Yeah, I don't mind the delay at all in general.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% on board with the good sentiment of everything.
Noob Fridge in chat. Oh, snap. Colin hate.
Yeah, that's going to get me a negative downvotes on the internet.
Go ahead, Wilfredo.
Earthy Power. The bombs of the days of old where you could sign up for an alpha, beta, and so on, and hope that you could playtest said game. A-bomb. Not a fan of having to pay to playtest games. You much not end up liking anyway. It's also no to ads in video games unless it makes sense for the world. Otherwise, like in GTA, for example, maybe I can see it. But for the most part, to keep it to mobile, since there aren't games to me but slot machines. Wow. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, Dishwisher chiming in with "Da bomb to the smile of children, A bomb to whatever makes so many lose it while growing up." Damn, that's deep.
I never smiled as a child.
I believe it.
I read that when I was at work and laughed out loud.
Well, Dishwisher actually had a whole piece, a very, very well said piece about, hey, you have to test, because we were critical of the cash shop stuff in Magic Legends Open Beta. And Dishwisher put together a piece on YouTube, said, hey, when else are they going to test it? Like, you have to have it there, so that people can try it out, so that people can watch to see if the store is working. Are people being able to buy stuff? Is stuff too high price? Beta testing the shop. And so I did reply to Dish just saying, hey, I don't think anybody on the panel was really saying that the cash shop shouldn't have been in open beta because, yes, everything you were saying there is 100% true. We were critical of it having monetization targets that it needed to reach in that open beta that eventually got it killed. So, but Dishwisher, yeah.
Well, but he's still wrong because there have been cash shops in closed betas. I've seen games that do that, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to give you 5,000 coins to play in the thing," and you can
the
mess
shops
around
being
with it.
in betas, closed or opens. I have problems where the company has a revenue expectation on them enough to shut a game down before it hits 100 days old.
Right. I don't have an issue with it, but the notion that you have to test it in open beta where money is real and everything is
no, I don't
correct.
think Dish was specifically pointing at open beta, but was just making the point that, I think it was a misunderstanding. I think Dish took maybe one of our opinions or something we said to imply that they shouldn't be tested at all. That was not the point that we were making at all. Right. Question of the week last week, would you watch optional ads in free-to-play games if they gave you in-game items? I mean, you probably already do that on your mobile games if you play any of those. Would you do it on PC or console free-to-play games? And then what about if it were in buy-to-play games, but they were still also optional? Somebody already chimed in up above. Guessley chimes in, there is no question here. You have to say no. If people will start to watch them, then it will just be the beginning. Then ads will pop up everywhere and anywhere. If they want, they can make something like an ad roll, which you start and then go make coffee, take a leak, etc., but put it in the homepage or a separate tab in the launcher, not in the game itself. Jason.
Our Jabber's question of the week, I wouldn't mind watching optional ads at a free-to-play game, but only if I get in-game goodies. Buy-to-play? No way.
No way. Go ahead, Wilfredo.
Akito, imagine getting ads in a buy-to-play. Hello.
Yeah. See UFC. Talk to EA about UFC. Yamikami says, question of the week, no. I don't want ads to play in my games ever. As you said, if it is on the sideline on some billboards in a city, like it would be in an actual city, then I don't mind that, like driving through GTA, right, and seeing a Coca-Cola billboard. I don't mind it. I will not tolerate it. Not in free-to-play, buy-to-play, or any other business model. Free-to-play is often bad enough as it is, and I hope any game that tries to do that will be the next Magic Legends.
Ooh, shots fired.
Well, let me toss an idea at you, though, because you always have load screens when you're like loading into a match or whatever. Now, what if it showed, instead of the character slinging a fireball or whatever, is the character drinking a Coke? And it says buy Coke or whatever, You already have the load screen. It's already going to be there.
Well, I mean, not anymore.
So.
Yeah, since PS5's a thing.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I still feel like that's like pervasive to me.
Well, sure.
If you put it in a see, but then I'm saying it's okay.
Not
if
a buy
it's
to play.
billboard.
Yeah, definitely not in the buy to play.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want it to start because it won't stay as non-pervasive.
Oh, yeah.
Like the people that gave that feedback are right. It'll just snowball.
Yeah.
I mean, Old Glory's not wrong there too, Jason. They'll just artificially increase load times.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, remember when EverQuest 2 first launched and it was like, hey, if you hit Control P, it'll open up the
You can order a pizza.
Yeah.
Order a pizza.
Order a pizza while in this fantasy realm.
Question of the week this week. For you longtime MMO Bomb viewers, this is probably one we do like once every year or so. Every year or two, Jason and I decide it's time to try and beat up on the owner of MMOBomb.com a little bit and ask him to let us cover things that aren't free to play. Final Fantasy 14's MMO, World of Warcraft, things like that. So we've started that discussion with him again, as we always do. Many of you have asked, why don't you just cover that stuff as too? We would like to. As game fans, we would like to. So our kind of pitch is, we don't want to be like, just a general gaming website. Just, hey, cover everything. No. We would stick to like multiplayer, right? So you wouldn't see Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, but you would see Final Fantasy 14 news. That way it's like MMO Bomb, your home for all things multiplayer. Boom, done.
Not 7 Part 2, but 7 times 2.
7 times 2, right.
Okay. So
that's kind of our pitch. We're talking to him right now to see. And we do this like once every year or two since the beginning of time. If we were able to convince the site's owner to finally let us do that and open it up to MMOs and multiplayers rather than just free-to-play, I want to know from you, what game needs to be prioritized first? The number one to have its first catch-up first look, right? Because we'll have a list of things that we want to go back and get a first look done for that aren't currently on the site. So what is the first game that needs to have that backup, that catch-up first look done, and why? Let us know in the comments below. While you're there, don't forget your weekly bombs. Dub bomb for something good, A bomb for something bad in the world of gaming or just life in general. And if you have a question for the panel, by all means, put it below and I'll bring it to next week's show. Until then, Wilfredo, where can everybody find you?
Come find me over at Twitter at DamianXMarius. I'm probably going to be doing some goofy stuff.
Nice. Jason?
Find me on Twitter at Winter Informal, streaming at twitch.tv/JasonWinter.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at MagicMan1, but more importantly, follow at MMOBomb on Twitter so we can tweet at you all the latest news, articles, first look videos, giveaways, and so much more. Until next week, stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.